What's going on, YouTube? This is wwjoshdew, and I've been getting this stupid, annoying notification when I'm in the middle of playing a video game, like Hill Climb Racing, or just anything I'm doing. If I'm tweeting, if I'm trying to, look at my Instagram notifications, Instagram.com/wwjoshdew, just like my YouTube username below. Anyways, the stupid, annoying notification pops up, and if you install it, you get 4.3. It updates your bootloader. You can't downgrade your bootloader, and you have KNOX. So basically, if you accept this OTA and then you root your phone, you blow an internal eFuse that can never, ever be reset. So it's basically like a 0x0. You root it, it trips it. It's a 0x1, and you can never, ever, ever, ever get it to 0x0. Samsung will not support you. You may run into problems trying to get your phone fixed with your carrier. All kinds of bad things. So I will not be pressing restart and install. Absolutely not. I've not accepted any OTAs on my Galaxy Note 3, and I'm rocking zero limit batteries on both of these devices. But I will never accept an OTA on my S3, my S4, my Note 2, my Note 3. I will not accept any OTAs on any Samsung device until they change, until further notice. So yeah, we're going to go to settings, and we're going to go to about device, and I'm going to show you that I am on MC2. I am on completely stock MC2, Mary Charlie 2. My baseband and my build are all that. Android 4.1.2 right there. So let's get started. You're going to need to be on a stock ROM. If you're on 4.3 already, this process is different. And excuse me, on this particular device, you can go from 4.3 KNOX, get rid of KNOX, flash back to 4.2 or 4.1 or whatever, and then do this process. So you can, yes. On some devices, such as the Galaxy S4, the Galaxy Note, on some Galaxy devices, if you try to downgrade once you've updated, I think it's the Galaxy S4, you do brick your device if you try to downgrade once you've upgraded. So, and in the future, if they release 4.4, they will probably make it just like the S4, where if you do try to downgrade your bootloader, then you will brick your device because they don't want you to have root. They simply don't want you to have root. So, I'm going to go ahead and go to my browser here. I'm going to go to the Play Store first. And this is completely stock. This is 100% stock. I don't even have recovery. So I'm going to download an app real quick. It's an app called Recovery Tools. It's got a green little circle. It's made by DSL Nexus. We're going to go ahead and install it, accept it, and we're going to open it up. Now, this is required to have root before you do this. If you do not have root, all you got to do is use Odin and flash the recovery. So I may do that later on in the video when I get 4.3. Actually, I will be using Odin later on because I have to update the PDA or whatever to get, or the phone to get the Wi-Fi working. So open this up. It's going to ask for root permission. If you do not see this screen, you're not rooted. Just a heads up. Backup current recovery. Whatever. I don't care. Go. Okay, so I backed it up. As you can see, I am on stock. I used CF Auto Root a long time ago, and I rooted my Note 2, and I've just kept it on stock because I don't know, I just did. So there you go, I'm on stock. I'm gonna open up the browser here. Let's go to Chrome, see if it's actually working. It doesn't work on my Note 3 very well. And here all I'm gonna do is search for twerp L900. So there you go, twerp L900. Looks like none of those links are what we want, so we're going to search for twerp Sprint Note 2. There we go. That's the one we want to see. It is Team Win. So first link right there. And in here, we're going to go down to download Odin method. We're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to click on the Terechta or Tetra or whatever link because most of the time, Odin or Goo does not work. That's why we're not using Goo Manager. So we're going to go here, and you'll see 2631. We need to download that version, or whatever's the. If you're watching this video in 2632 is there, or 2634, or 270 or something, flash that. You always want to go with the one at the very bottom, which is the latest version. So we're just going to download this one right here, and we're going to let it count down. you'll see at the very top of this page right here that we are in fact downloading everything we need for the Samsung Galaxy Note 2 on Sprint. So that's done, the recovery downloaded. Let's go ahead and go back to that app that we downloaded, Recovery Tools, and we're going to flash other recovery. And then we're going to go to our download folder, and in here we'll see that twerp 2631. So we'll go ahead and click on that and hit yes please. We want to flash this recovery. Do we want to reboot in the recovery now? I'll hit no thanks. Now I wonder if I take this, I close it out, and then I go back here. Okay, it's not going to actually update until we reboot. So we are going to, first of all, you need a bunch of files. So open up your browser, go to bit.ly/note2mk4. It should look like that in all caps, bit.ly/note2, sorry. I get too many devices confused with each other. So press the checkbox, and it takes you to the thread by him. Let's see. His name is LorJ589, LORJAY 589. So shout out to him. Without him, him and some other people, this would not be possible. So down here, you'll just follow the instructions. Flash recovery, download the ROM, place the ROM on your internal or external storage, do a full wipe, flash the ROM, and enjoy. And if your Wi-Fi isn't working, then you need to reboot into Odin mode once you have 4.3 and flash the Wi-Fi fix. So it's pretty simple. Now, if you're on 4.3, there's special instructions right here that you have to use, talking about all the downgrade process and everything. So you'll want to follow along with that process and, kind of just do that. I don't accept OT updates, so I don't have to worry about that. Don't accept OT updates from Samsung, and you will not be in the position you're in right now if you are following along with the red text right here. So we're going to go ahead and power the device off. All right, now that it's off, we're going to hold the volume down. I think if I'm incorrect, it's volume up. I can't remember which one's which. So volume down, the home button, and the power button, and you'll keep holding that until it boots. Okay, so that's obviously download mode, which you'll use later to flash the Wi-Fi fix. So volume down will restart our phone. If we hold volume up, the home button and the power button, we might get into recovery while it's doing this. If not, we'll just try this again. Okay, this case makes it pretty hard to press the power button. Alright, so we'll try this again. Hold the power button down, power off. And it's volume up instead of volume down. Volume up gets you into recovery, volume down gets you into download mode. With this case, pressing the power button's pretty hard, so I kept failing, and in the second here, I just take the CPU case off, and I get into recovery just fine. Alright, so I did the case off. This should be a little bit easier. Volume up, home button, power button, keep holding it. There we go. And as you can see, I held it until the team win screen popped up. I was on stock recovery. I did not have custom recovery, but thanks to having root access, I was able to install custom recovery without using a computer. If you don't have root, then you're going to need to use a computer to flash custom recovery. If you're a subscriber, thank you very much. You've probably seen me do this on my Nexus 5 and my Nexus 7 videos. So I'm going to keep doing it again. On this device, there is an external SD card, but you got to take the case off, pull the SD card out, put it in an adapter, put it in your computer. I have this little Minova SD card reader that I did a video on. I'll link to it in the description below if you want to check it out. I think it's like $12. It's not a big deal. I hooked this into my computer, and I got a little SD card on this end right here. You can just put any SD card in there. That's micro. And then whenever it's done transferring, you take this out. And then you take this and you put it in the bottom of your device. So there we have it. And then the little light lights up and lets us know that there's activity and it's working. All right, so from here, I'm going to, if you really want to, you can do a backup of your current ROM in case you ever need it, which I do highly recommend doing it. So EFS, boot, don't back up recovery, because if twerp updates to 2632 or 2634 or something, and it fixes the bug with 2631, you will keep restoring this recovery when you restore this Android. So don't do that. Cache will rebuild itself, so don't worry about that. You'll want to do system, data, preload, and modem. You'll want to do all those right there. And for the backup name, As you can see, it says MC2 at the very end there, so we'll know that this was the stock ROM that we backed up. If you want to, you can just simply backspace all of this out and put MC2 or stock MC2 with root. Whatever you want to do is completely your choice. I do recommend making sure that this enable compression box is checked for a smaller file size. And this is also important. You do not want to be backing up your phone to your internal storage. You can, but I don't recommend it because you might lose it someday. So I can choose my flash drive right here, as you can see. Not flash drive, the micro SD card. It's flashing, letting me know that it's working. So I can choose internal, external, which is the card that's inside the Note 2 behind the, in the back or behind the battery or whatever. Or I can choose my flash drive. And then just choose whichever one you want, press OK, and then swipe to back up. Now that's going to take a lot of time, so I don't want to really do that. Once it's done, it'll take quite some time. So go back here to wipe, and then swipe to factory reset. So it's not hard at all. It takes just a second if it's working correctly. And now that it's done, we'll go back, and we'll go to back, and then we'll go to install, and then we'll choose this MC. Well, no, that's the one you'll want to use if you're not stock. I'm going to do the Geodext. Basically, Odext is just like stock, but with Geodext, they remove all the .odex files, so you can actually install custom themes. Like you can change your battery icon to a Superman logo that fills up, or a gas meter that fills up, and you can change all kinds of different things. And ROM or Toolbox something Pro is something you can use to change all that. So Geodext right there. We're going to go ahead and swipe to confirm flash. Our little SD card here is flashing, letting us know that it's working, and this process is moving along as it should. I want to stress that you do not need to rush out and buy this thing and wait for it to come before doing the process. All you've got to do is load the file on your external SD card that is behind the battery, and not behind the battery, but behind the case on your Note 2. The screen goes dim after so long. You can change that in the settings if you don't like it. It's just basically there to prevent burn-in from like something that's been on the screen for a really long time. On some devices, it can actually burn that. Like you can see Team Win Recovery Project in the top of your screen for a long time if your device has burn-in issues. So we're done. We're gonna go ahead and mine's been doing that, unable to mount preload. I don't, even when I'm doing backups, it just doesn't do the preload. I'm not sure why it's doing that. I researched it at one point, but I gave up because the Note 2 is not my device, my main device. For those of you that are curious, the Nexus 5 is my daily device, and I have CM11 on it, and I love it. My battery life lasts for almost 2 days. It can last for 2 days if I lightly use it, but with moderate use, I get about a day and a half. So I'm very happy with my Nexus 5 on CM11. So, reboot system. If it says that root needs to be fixed, if you're using an alternative recovery, it'll say like, do you want to fix root? Hit no, otherwise they say you'll have to root it yourself later on. So just hit no. It's that simple. Alright, it made a nice little startup sound. Well, I wouldn't call it nice, but it made a startup sound. It's a little bit different than before. Just so you know, this process took about 2 minutes and 51 seconds before the screen went dim, which means that it's almost done booting up. Alright, my screen just went dim, so it should be booting up here shortly, and it did. It's really dark, I know, it's hard to even see myself, so we're going to change that in a second once we get this started up. So, scanning for Wi-Fi, and it's probably not going to find Wi-Fi because of the fact that it needs to be ODIN'd. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and power the device off, and we're going to get the computer and go into Odin, and we'll finish this video up. Alright, so we're at our computer here, and like I said earlier about this little device right here, we're going to go ahead and plug it into here, and we're going to plug it into the side of our little, it's an X202E, I did a video on it a little while back, is a touchscreen computer, so 32 gigabytes, open to view folders. And the Wi-Fi fix or patch or whatever, it's actually a rare file. You'll need something like 7-zip, which is open source, completely free, and very awesome. I've been using it for years. You'll need something like that to extract it. So you'll end up with a Wi-Fi patch SPHL900 tar.md5 and you'll need to take this, and you'll need to download it. It's in the thread that the bit.ly/note2mk4. It's in there. You just got to find it. And so we're going to go ahead and hit copy, and we're going to go back to our Odin folder. You'll need Odin like 307, for example. I will also have a link to that in the description below. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that in there. We have the Wi-Fi patch. Now on our phone, we're going to need to hold the volume down, the power button, and the home button until we get into download mode. Just keep holding this. Okay, this case gets on my nerves when it comes to holding the power button's really hard to press. So, volume down, power button, and the home button, keep holding it. Now we're in here, press volume up to continue. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take a USB cable. We are going to plug it into the bottom of our Note 2 here. And then we're going to open up Odin. I recommend right-clicking it and choosing Run as Administrator. You should see COM and then a number. Alright, the instructions in the post, which is post number 81 on that thread, it says to flash it in the PDA tab of Odin. So on PDA, oops, that's phone. On PDA, we're going to go to this SPH L900 tar. It should automatically open up the Odin folder on your desktop. If it doesn't, just navigate to it. So we're going to go ahead and open that up. And then we're going to let it do its thing, and then we're going to hit start. All right, our phone should now have a working Wi-Fi. We'll see here in just a second. The first startup takes the longest. After that, it shouldn't take as long. As you can see, it already booted up, so that was pretty darn fast. And now if we go through all this stuff, and when it says setting for Wi-Fi, it should turn on the Wi-Fi and find an access point for us to connect to. Alright, mine's not turning on. Give me just a second. So I stopped the video for a second to turn my computer back on right here and flash that tar again to see if maybe like the first time didn't do it. And I was like, hey, let me just go ahead and do a normal reboot after the part you just saw where the Wi-Fi wasn't working. It kept saying turning on or scanning or whatever. And now it's working just fine. The little thing wasn't green. It wasn't even there to turn on or off. So now we can connect to our Wi-Fi. Just to make that absolutely clear, after the time I just showed you, I only had to flash it one time with Odin, and after it booted up, Wi-Fi didn't work. I rebooted, just a standard normal reboot, and it worked fine. We're connected to Wi-Fi. We can go ahead and hit next, and then I'm gonna go ahead and skip this. Do you have a Google account? I'm gonna go ahead and sign in, and then we're just gonna go down here and I uncheck this one, press next. It's restoring my account. This could take just a minute. Nice. Go ahead and just hit the arrow button. And I'm going to go ahead and skip this. You can sign in if you really want to. And on here, we're going to backspace all this. And we're going to type SPHL900. Finish. More information. And then if it shows you, I hit more information and then I uncheck the box that says connection optimizers. So we do have the little thing here where you can choose what all you want running side by side. We're going to go to menu, settings, and they did it just like the Note 3 and the S4 where you have to go to more and then about device. Our baseband is still MC2, but our build is MK4, so we are on 4.3. Oh, more information, and then uncheck Sprint Connection Optimizer. That way it doesn't like turn on your Wi-Fi or your 4G or 3G or all that at random points. If there's a way to update the baseband, I will leave it in the description. You'll just go to Odin and you will use I think it's the phone button to update the modem to MK4. Or I might just do a whole separate video on that. If you want to see a video on how to simply update the baseband, give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment, please. That's all I ask. So we're done. We got Android 4.3. Jelly Bean on our Galaxy Note 2 here. So we should have the new camera. Yes, I want to put on my SD card. So we have the new camera here. Just, I'm not going to go through too much of this because, well, it's just a camera. So video mode, you swipe down to bring up the video mode. I don't know if that was, I haven't used a Note 2 in a long time. My Note 3 and my Nexus 5, mostly my Nexus 5 are my main devices right now. So 1080p is still the option. All right. And tap all to see your notifications, your add-ons. Here, what I highly recommend doing is going to menu and then view type and then alphabetical grid. Now all of your apps will be in alphabetical order. And as you can see, we have Super SU, which is our root method. I uncheck authentication, and Super SU is updated to version 1.85. Of course, that's going to be always going to be changing. It's just letting us know that long pressing the back button is our recent apps button. Anyways, is our, where you can multitask and do multiple different things at one time. So Play Store, and then the Play Store hasn't updated just yet, so it will update automatically. They're forcing it. Mobile Odin does not work on 4.3 at the moment, but if you're watching this video later on, it very well could be updated to support 4.3. So all of my apps are installing. Super SU is going to update, and when it does, I highly recommend opening it up and then pressing continue on updating your binary. And anytime Super SU has an update, make sure you open up the app, you'll update your binary, and then you reboot when it tells you to. One of the cool things about this ROM is that when you press restart, you have hot restart, which is like a really quick reboot instead of a full reboot. You have download mode, which is like Odin and stuff like that. And then you have recovery, so it'll take you to Torp recovery or whatever recovery you happen to install. That's about it. I mean, you are on 4.3. You can use your Galaxy Gear with this device, and you don't have the new bootloader. You don't. You completely avoided that bootloader. Again, if you want me to do a video on updating the baseband, if there's a method available, leave this video a thumbs up. Hey, give the video a thumbs up if you feel like being awesome in the first place. If you're new to my channel, please make sure you hit that red subscribe button below, as I have a ton of videos to do on the Note 2, the Note 3, still have the S4, the S3. I've got more Nexus 5 videos. Nexus 5 videos are going to come like CM11 review, a review of the device. I'm going to do a video showing how stinking slow the Note 3 is compared to the Nexus 5. I've got tons of unboxings for 2014. New devices such as like the S5, the Note 4, the Nexus 6, anything. Just please subscribe if you're new to my channel and this is just one of the first videos you're watching, or if you haven't made that decision yet. And I'll have links to my Twitter where I post about videos that I'm working on. I'll have links to my Instagram where I post pictures and videos quite often. I'll have links to my second channel where I post videos from the front-facing camera on whatever phone I'm happen to be carrying around at the time. I have a gaming channel where I post gaming commentary. Sometimes I don't do it a lot, but I do it every now and then. Anyways, I have several different social medias like Facebook, Google+. Everything's in the description below. Please click where it says show more to expand the description and see all the links. This is What Would Josh Do, and I'm out.